greet you tonight in the name of all that is good, all that is holy, all that is sacred. And in the warm and loving energy of this, we greet you Community Spiritual Life Center. If this is your very first time with us tonight, we especially want to welcome you because we know that you are not here by accident. We know that everyone here is here by divine appointment, and we're so excited for our program tonight. And just excited, what can I say? I introduced Pam Logan. She is one of our chaplains, and she is going to lead us in our opening prayer.
Hello, everybody. So, just...
I don't think the mic's working.
Now? No? No? Okay. All right, so just taking a couple of deep breaths and going into that heart space of yours, and just know that you are in a divine spot right here, that we are all energy beings. The energy in this room is going to lift us. The energy of the speaker is going to guide us. And that we will take that with us throughout the week. That wherever we go, we will impart a sense of peace and joy, hope, and serenity wherever we are. And for this we are grateful, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Pam. The chaplains have the healing circle right next door after the service. So after this wonderful healing experience, you can just walk right next door and get another super dose. And if you have a cell phone, I'm sure no one here has a cell phone, but if you do, please silence it. Yeah, you're pointing. People are playing around in the back. Next week, we have another special treat. It's called Music and Sound, the Medicine for Today. And this is going to be Ann Roach and Elizabeth Pruitt. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce her name. They are therapeutic musicians. They're actually certified music practitioners. I have to make sure practitioner is the right word. And they work in healthcare settings, working with people, and it really helps people heal much faster when they are exposed to music and sound. So they're going to be with us next week and explain it and probably treat us to some music and sound. So, of course, the soup will be at 6 and the service will start at 7. On October 28th, which is a Monday, we have another Q process training. So if you are interested, we decided to do this because every once in a while somebody comes and say, I work on the weekends. I can't ever come to a Q process. And so we're doing one on Monday. So you can sign up online for that, or on Sundays you can sign up in the courtyard. And then we have a 5th Wednesday this month, and this month we get to have Lady of the Lake. Their event is called Fire of Life. And they're just a fantastic musical group. They do Celtic and original music. It's the Lawson family. How many people know the Lawsons? Michael, Lisa, Cameron, and Liam. And it's going to be vocals, the Celtic harp, lute, mandolin, and all kinds of other fun stuff. That's October 30th. And again, the soup is at 6, and the program is at 7. Excuse me. I asked Stan if he wanted me to go get his entire biography and read it, and we decided we didn't have time for that. So Stan Padilla has been around for a long time. He is an educator. He's a spiritual teacher. He's an activist. He's an artist. He makes jewelry. And I'm not quite sure when he sleeps, and maybe he'll tell us tonight when he does that. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Stan Padilla.
Thank you. I'm no different than you. I'm just sitting up here on this chair and you're sitting there, and it looks like I may be different than you, but I'm not. We're all doing the same thing. We're all human beings. We're all trying to live the best possible life we can live, I hope. We're at the Spiritual Life Center. Believe that. We're at the center of our spiritual life in this center here. We're human beings. We live in the very beginning of the 21st century. We live on the planet Earth. And as human beings, we've gotten ourselves into a real fix. You ever seen little kiddies play with a ball of yarn? Get it all mixed up, and then you have to pull that all apart and re-roll it. And that's what we have to do. We have that potential now. So I hope you come to do something with your lives, lift ourselves up, make ourselves better, because that's what we're here for. I don't know about you. I didn't come here to pay bills, go shopping, buy cars and planes and and just to enjoy myself all the time. I came for a meaningful life, a purpose-filled life, and now it's time, that we do this. Our nature, the conditions of the world are all telling us this now. Enough now. We're not pretending anymore. We're not practicing. We need to find some solutions. So what's the best time for that? Right now, right? Because that's the only thing we have, this moment. And already this moment is gone because we're in this moment. So we have to take best advantage of every moment and be aware and to be, I'm going to make up words, knowingful, to know things now. We have to step up. We have to reach deep in ourselves, not rely on other people or other things or other systems. So in that sense, we as human beings have gotten used to this little realm, bandwidth, we call reality, where it's all materialized. We touch it, feel it, spend it, buy it, take it, charge it. So tonight I will offer affirmations. I will invite you to change. I will offer prompts that you can change. Right now, remember, this is the first prompt. This is real life right now. So however you want to be up right now. Sit up nice and tall. Clear your cobwebs, the mind, open the heart, and kind of less like that, the kitties and the ball of yarn. Try and loosen our grasp on this thought that this is the only thing that there is. You know how people say, oh, I want the bottom line. Get down to reality. Get down to brass tacks. What does that mean? This? We belong in a world. We're integrated in a world with many things that we don't see. Many levels, many dimensions below us, around us, inside of us. As far out as we can imagine, we have that much inside of us. There is no separation between these except we hold on to, we get addicted to, we grasp onto this material reality. And that includes belief systems, religions, philosophies, my opinions, what I believe. You know what? I don't care. Keep your dreams to yourself now and your ideas to yourself and make them practical, make them real, make them manifest and show me and teach me. But just talk about it, I can watch TV and do that. So this is the golden moment. If we start to breathe really deep now, really deep, and begin to, when we breathe in, imagine the furthest parts of the universe are coming to us. And when we exhale, bigger, and we're bigger than this. This is the bandwidth we're seeing. But we know there is much more to that. And we ask ourselves, well, what am I really then? If I'm not all this, if I didn't go get to Ross and buy this and put this on and look in the mirror and say, oh, that's me. What do we do every morning? Most everybody runs to the mirror and affirms who they are. My idea for you now, your homework, don't look in the mirror anymore. Tomorrow morning, don't look in the mirror. And when you catch yourself, close your eyes, because we begin to believe what we see in there. I had an old auntie who, I said, Auntie, how come you're so wise? What do you do? She goes, every morning I get up, when I go look in the mirror, I talk to that lady in the mirror, and I say, you're not the real one. I'm the real one. You're wrinkled and old, but I'm the real one. So affirm and hold who we really are, not just who we think we are, who we say, oh, I'm a vegan, I don't do this, oh, I'm a Catholic, oh, I'm liberal, oh, I'm a Republican, oh, I'm Chinese, oh, I'm an American. That's all good and fine, and those are things that express part who we are, but then who are we really now? So together, let's kind of peel this onion skin back, or this artichoke, and start to peel back. If we're not this, and we are in part, of course, who are we on the next level? What are our feelings? When we say we go within, what? Just below the skin is already inside of us. And that epidermal is just barely there. You can pinch it off yourself. So it's close. What is the outside world? What's the inside world? So I invite you in this. Let's close our eyes for a moment. I invite you to close your eyes. It helps us kind of dissolve that grasp on belonging to just a visual, sensual world. That's a part of us. So let's practice deep breathing, relaxed breathing. Relax. We don't have to go anywhere. We don't have to do anything. You certainly don't have to be anything other than you just simply are. If you're tired, if you're grumpy, if you're happy, you're enlightened, or you're hungry, well, good for you. That's just how it is. But now let's go deeper than that. Who are we, and what are we really? We are the human beings. There are tree beings, rock beings. Everything gathers itself, its knowingness, its awareness, and through that, it becomes what it is. We're the human beings. Our original home and our original, where we got our beingness. When you wake up in the morning, we wake up because we're being. We have existence. When we cease to wake up, then we don't have existence anymore. Now we have it. What does that mean? The light that grows from the darkness is the essence of who we are. The very subtle nature and the primordial nature of life longing for itself to express itself. We become human beings because we enfold and embody and envelope this life, this light, which we call life. I'm alive. I have a life. I'm living because I have the original light inside of me. I am the caretaker of this light. Because I have this light, I have an electricity, a magnetism, a heat that gathers all what it needs and comes to meet my needs. So the first fork in the road that we all face, primary, we have a choice. We can either, as these beings, live by the dictates of the world, expectations and obligations of other people, what the world gives us, the happenstance of the world, the accidents, and then we become almost like victims of the world. On the other hand, we have a choice to be intentional, to be self-motivated, and the world forms itself around that, and we fulfill ourselves. So at this junction in the road, make your choice. Where are you? And where are you moving ahead from this moment forward? If tomorrow you wake up and you still say, oh, they made me. Oh, I can't. Oh, I don't have enough. Oh, it's all overwhelming. That's our choice. Tonight, right now. Remember, this moment's the only thing I have. Remembering our true nature. I just recently came back from northern India, from Ladakh, and this was a message that the Dalai Lama is sending throughout all the world now, and he's asked us to bring it here to the West. So in the quiet of everything, think about this. May the precious, awakening mind take birth where it has never been before. Light into the darkness. Where it has been born, may it increase forever without decline. That's our nature. May spiritual teachers appear in the world now, and may teachings shine forth like the rays of the sun. May the upholders of spiritual traditions be in kinship and harmony now with one another. And may all of these traditions live long and beneficially endure. As long as space remains, and as long as sentient beings remain, until then, may I too remain to help dispel the miseries of the world. Have we come here to be self-serving, just to take care of ourselves? I want, it's mine. I want, I'm going to get, I'm planning. Oh, I don't like what I got. I don't know. Oh. Is that why we came? To live by the dictates of the world? I want what they want. Oh, I want that house. Oh, I want a boat. No, I want a country. I want an airplane. Oh, I want a candy. Oh, I'm dying for pizza. Is that? No. So in this very moment, we can change that. Redirect our minds. Renew, reset our heart's intentions. And then we work hard through discipline to achieve and to express those things to others so we can inspire. But what this affirmation tells us is we came here to serve the world, to make the world better for others. By giving, we receive, and by receive, we're giving. That's universal among all the belief systems, because it's equity, equanimity, it's balance, it's peace. So in this moment, let's let that sink into ourselves. Give it to ourselves. Never mind. We don't even know if there's a world existing out there, really. Do you know? Maybe we came in here and the rest of the world just vaporized. So let's give to our own selves, our own light. I invite you to spend a minute here, quiet, and really find your own light, the center of your own, what you call your I. I am this person. Well, where is that person? We should be able, by spiritual engineering, to find it. Trust in your spiritual GPS. This is called returning home, soul retrieval. Bring back all those parts and all those things. All those remember. Remember when you were younger? You had all those dreams and hopes? When you were really excited about things? And you took chances and you didn't know what tomorrow was going to bring, but you did it anyway? Because you loved and you cared and you had fire and warmth. And all your baggage didn't begin to clog up, firm up, hang on us, weigh us down. Well, that's history now, because now we're at a new moment. I am the light that is this world. I gather to me all that I need to fulfill and be a full, mature, meaningful human being. This is real life. This is real time. What I'm hearing is real. This loud silence is the expression of the Spirit and of our own knowingness, our consciousness. It is our job to awaken or be aware of as much as we can about ourselves, who we are, what we're doing, and to be realize what we're doing. Do you hear little kids? So I didn't mean to do that. Well, I didn't really mean what I said. Well, we're not kids anymore. We have a responsibility. The spiritual alarm clock is now ringing. Our nature has reached the point of mass inflammation or global warming. In our bodies, we call it inflammation, right? We're swelling, we're expanding. And all of the empty spaces in our bodies are being filled up because we're swollen. And those empty places are where the Spirit resides and where the resounding. Isn't it when a singer sings, they sing through the empty channels throughout the body and they resonate things? The dancer moves through those spaces. That's where our movement is. So our job now is to remember that. Kind of go back now. Where did you kind of lose your momentum? Lose your sense of where you're going? Pick it up, go back there, and bring it forward. This is the essence of what we call the historical trauma healing of historical trauma or personal trauma. Wherever we were traumatized, we stay back there, and emotionally we just keep going in circles. Why did that happen? Why did he do that? Why did she do that? Why they did that? Well, how come? And we just keep going in circles. Now, I don't know how I have to tell you, but the gate's open. You don't have to do that anymore right now. Let it out. Let it out. Don't hold on to it anymore. Don't keep reinforcing it. Don't just keep believing it. Change the reality. Change it. We can do that in this moment. I wish I had fancy and great philosophical systems to offer you, and I wished I had great wealth and jewels of knowledge to give to you. I can only offer you common sense, common decency, and right now. I mean, the rest of it is like the spiritual Kmart, spiritual Walmart. It's all there. And it's only so important if you find your path on that. So it's really finding where we belong, what's right for us, to do the right thing at the right time. And that's the ceremony of life, isn't it? Our rituals. We don't have to wear robes that have beads and hats and everything. But do right in the morning, your morning cup of coffee or your morning glass of water, or do you feed the birds in the morning, or what is it that you do, that we do? When I say you, I'm talking to myself here. What is it that we do that you take care of? Because if we all take care of something, then everything's taken care of. In our old-time way, in our old-time native way, every day we were taught to be quiet and go pick up a piece of the earth that would fit in the palm of your hand. Pray over it, make it happy, and then give it back. And if everybody around the world was doing that, we would be massaging the earth all like masa. Because that's what we do, is we're making this, massaging this earth and lifting up this inert matter. Otherwise, these are substances. We have 92 elements. That's all there is, right, in this world, material world? Or somebody, scientists help me, 92 or 95 on the periodic table of elements. That's what we have. There's no extra. There's no borrowing. And we have time and we have space. And we're juggling, and we're changing all the time. Everything's changing. We came in here one way, we're going to go out another. We might say in a story and a metaphor that we're new people. It's a new story. It's a new chapter in our lives. How do we do this? Easy to talk. It's easy for me to talk about this and say all the beautiful words, but it takes an act of will, volition. We have to make things move through an inner way, intention. I intend to do, how many diets have we been on? How many things have we started? How many projects? What happened? Oh, I'm doing this and all that, and I drink celery juice only 3 times a day, and I'm only a vegan. Then 3 days later, there's a bag of potato chips. What? What happened? And so that's part of it. And especially in the Western tradition, Western means us, we're very soft and undisciplined, you know. Okay, I'm going to say it. Spoiled and lazy and privileged. Our ligaments hang. Our thoughts, we don't finish them. Half the time we don't finish our sentences. And that's all it is in the moment to make sure that we do everything right, to make the world right. In the morning, when we get up in the morning, isn't it? What do? All of that. That's not really the morning ritual, but the reason I do that, that's the ritual. I do that to be well, to look good, to be fine, to be so that I can be with others, you know, in a proper way, in a good way. I can be a good role model for others. You know how the Dalai Lama says that, you know, his religion is kindness. How I do things in the world for others, that's the measure of who we are. Not so much how much we give or so forth. So I invite you and I encourage you to sit down every day, some point, and just be quiet. You don't have to be fancy. You don't have to call it anything. No one even needs to know you're doing it. Sit down and be quiet and come to that level of just original silence and original origins. Authentic being authentic, the author of your own story, and just be who you really need to be. The world will be different then. And it's always to affirm, what am I? Who am I? What am I? I am the light of the world manifested in this plane to do the work that I too may do the brilliant work of the light in this earth, at this time, in a special kind of way, whatever gifts that we have, to use them. Again, there's many paths, many ways, many expressions of human beings. If you look around the room, we're all different. We're all unique. Even if we look the same, we're different. So it's coming to know ourselves, our patterns of behavior, our expressions, what our gifts are, what are challenges, things that we have to learn. And that's where we really can change the world, is to face the hard things, the things you don't want to do, that we don't want to do. That's some 10 years ago, I came to the point I had to face my greatest fears. Well, it took me a lot just to face what I was afraid of. Then I had to do something about it. And that was to go the bottom of Lake Tahoe, to go out in the middle of Lake Tahoe and go down as far and be alone in the dark as much as possible. I didn't conquer it. Still haven't done it yet. I mean, I've done it, but I was dog paddling fast. Yes, I want the light. But to acknowledge our greatest fears, what is it? Our primal fears as human beings, am I good enough? That's what we call lack of self-esteem now, right? Am I good enough? Can I really do this? Do I have what everyone else? Do I have what it takes? Or am I dependent on others, codependent on the others? I need people around me to affirm that I can do it or do it for me. That's a primal, that's like falling. When we conquer that I am capable, you will also be unafraid of falling. That's the primal dream of falling, and dreaming that you're falling. That I'm not capable of stopping myself or doing what it takes, or I have what it takes. And it doesn't matter how much, how big, how powerful people have that fear. Am I good enough? And I want to affirm, we are. You've got it. We have it. It takes volition to make it happen. We are not victims. We didn't come here by accident. We're here out of a divine integration. So let's take a minute here now. Wake up. A lot of you are falling asleep now. Come on. Wake up. Wake up a little bit. Wake up. Put some water on your face. This is real life. Come on. I'm a school teacher. Motivation. How do you motivate someone to learn? So sit up again. Remember, I'm of the light. Let that light flow through me. Does it come from the outside or does it come from the inside? Yes. Both, right? Comes from above, around, and circulate things now. So even begin to move. You don't have to be so sophisticated. You're also nice just sitting there. I watch you and you're just like in church. Oh, we are in church. No, you know what I mean? Or in a library, in a movie theater, or where everyone is just like, I can't look around or let anyone know that I'm bored or I'm tired or something. So this is circulation of the light, right? Get it to move in and out. You're forgetting to breathe. Most of you are not breathing. You don't breathe very, and I'm the same way. I'm talking to myself. Breathe. We have to breathe all the way down here to get maximum oxygen, which is the lower part of the breath, of the lungs. If we don't get enough oxygen, the main organ of the heart doesn't function properly. And you don't do that enough, and you know what happens? Cardiac. So breathe deep as much as you can. There is something we can do every single day, and that's to breathe deep every moment and remembering that. And just keep coming back to that. Because that breath is the light itself. So that, is to breathe it out. And then when we breathe out, breathe it to others so it lives, and it's circulating. And we're giving and we're receiving and we're changing and we're growing, that. Even I invite you to take your hands like this and just begin to back and forth, like bellows or a breathing. I'm bringing things to the center of the world. This is Qigong, right? It's not the hands, it's the energetics, right? I'm sending it to the furthest points of space, and I'm going to bring in new oxygen to the center. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to send it out to beyond Venus and beyond the solar system. And I'll just keep going. It's an accordion. It's breathing. It's being. And even after a while, you don't have to use your hands. It's not your hands aren't doing it. It's the energetics of our own mind. And then after a while, you don't have to move your hand, just think it. That's meditation, in which we train ourselves with positive thoughts to progress and discipline our own minds to move forward and to move with the movement of life. Most of us hold back. I'm afraid, or I'm stubborn, or I'm not. You won't make me. No, I'm not going to change. this movement, of inner movement that comes out. And up above, and coming down. Whatever our culture, whatever our race, whatever our gender, whatever our history, whatever our experiences, whatever our socioeconomic levels, it all disappears, because when it all comes down, we're just human beings trying to be the best that we can be. And to remember, stay with the root. That's why with our indigenous people, we stay with the root, the basic elements. Yeah, sometimes we're called backwards. Yeah, we're not moving with the times. We're not as hip or cool or as whatever the world is. Well, look at how the world is. So it's being close to that root of being a human being, ultimately, which is rooted in the spiritual life center. Yes? Where is that center? That's the first boundary. Hold that boundary, and it's generally right in this area, which is the center of gravity, right? And if we want our center of gravity to change, then we have to elevate ourselves, be that energetically, athletically, or something that we lift ourselves up, higher thinking, more positive thinking, more rigorous thoughts and rigorous development. And we lift it up. We'll just melt, and that's exactly where we go. And we go, oh, poor me. Lift yourself up. Let's lift ourselves up, and that's how we do it. It's like playing basketball again. Then, and then 3 points. I hit the basket from wherever else. I've trained myself. I put myself in position. I know how to go. I have the right wherewithal. I have the right thinking. I have the right tennis shoes. Lifestyle, health. So physical health is so important in this physical world. If we're going to pay attention to anything here besides cars, shiny objects, and having people look at us, or having money or status or reputation, it's better than to focus in on physical health and make it better. Get it going. Clean the blood. Get the heart working. CoQ10. High fiber, low fat, lots of water. Plant-based. We all know it. So all the rest of that, hot links, and all, is great, and all that. But then you pay the price. And then, poor me. So those are the things that we can do. Those are the things that we have right in our hands. And I don't know about you, but that's as spiritual as it gets. Because when you're there, the feelings, your thoughts, your motivation, all the things you can do, I don't think about it. Here in the West, too, we overthink everything, right? The hamster on the wheel. Caffeine just keeps driving us, and we think we're going somewhere. But we're going like this in the wheels, thinking. That's why in meditation, poke me if I think we got about 15 minutes, 10 minutes. So we have to be our own keeper, our own coach. Coach ourselves. You can do it. Get up and do it. Last night I was sitting there and I was tired. I didn't want to go brush my teeth because my dentist told me I have to floss at night too. And I was like, okay, I'll brush, but I won't floss. No, what's that? Get up and do what you know you need to do. And then and stop all that. We know in the science of meditation that this kind of thinking, fast and all that, the neurotic, psychologically neurotic, is the neurons moving. And they're supposed to. That's the so-called monkey mind. You know, that's how monkeys do. But when we sit down and ask those to behave, it's like swirling water. It will gradually, if you sit there long enough, it'll slow down and it'll settle itself. And that water will turn clean again. If you go out in a mountain stream and pick up everything, it's all muddy and it starts to flow, and it's like, what did I do? That I sit there long enough and then it gets a beautiful current and it's clear and clean and better than before. That's meditation. This is with our own minds. Because our mind is flowing through all of this, all what I'm talking about. We know all of this through our own mind. But yet we don't know what our mind is. What is our mind? Is our mind our own anyway? Do I have a mind? Do you have a mind? We have a group mind. We have a universal mind. How come yours works better than mine? Almost. So we have to, that's knowing ourselves, knowing our own self. The mind is like the wind in the body. You don't see the wind, you see its effects. You see the leaves blowing, but you don't actually see the wind. And that's like that. So the next part, I'm going to finish with this. Then we must, I encourage you and I invite you to engage in the mystical thoughts. Life is very mysterious. When we think we know everything or know anything, it's time to look again, because there are things we cannot understand, can't even fathom. We're discovering new things. Although, just look at how every day you read the news, there's this and there's that, and new moons and new stars and things. I thought hey, I went to school. I know all this already. You mean you're telling me this works like this? Or, how could that be? So what is that mysterious part of us? And what is that ability to be patient with not knowing? Our impatience just needs for us to know something, just fill it up. So when your kids ask you something, and you say, "Well, it's because of this and this," and they look at you like, you don't know what you're talking about. But we say things. That's why if we go back to this meditation, this quiet, go back to this quiet listening. That's all, just quiet listening. You don't have to be rich, famous, knowledgeable, or anything else to do this, but sit and be quiet and figure things out. From my point of view, meditation is not to do nothing. That's kind of the quandary of the West. Oh, I'm just going to think nothing. We're already you're thinking of not thinking of something, and you're still feeling it. So it's best to direct our minds, put it someplace. And the first is to discipline it to think in a one-point perspective, to focus on something and hold it there. And one day, 30 seconds, next day, 32 seconds, 34 seconds, until we can maybe get 45 seconds. A minute's a long time to hold single-pointed, because that's laser thinking. But we attempt to do these things, and when we do this, and the more that we do these things in positivity, in love, we do these things because we love to do them. It's not drudgery. Housework? Well, a little. But if I learn to do it, it's much easier, and I try to teach myself. No, I love to do this because I want clean floors. So I learn to love to maintain it. And the more I learn to love it, it seems like it just stays with me, and I start to love more things all the time, and I enjoy more things. And then after I sit down, I go, wow, I have a clean house. All my clothes are all washed, my socks are all folded, and I'm a bachelor, so all that's big stuff to me. I'm a widowed bachelor, which means I didn't have to do that as a spoiled brat. Until the day came, I had to do it. And now it's like, that's a big deal. Get everything washed and folded and put away in your dishes. And so learning how to love all of that. And as I close, let's just do a quiet meditation. So when we meditate now, there is a meditation. Sit up nice and tall. Try to get your hips flat, or, this way, not like this, or like you're watching TV, because that blocks things. Sit up and then just try to get your belly free, so your belly is free. Your heart is centered. Your shoulders are up. If we have this, you'll never get anywhere in life. That's a chip on your shoulder. And when we do this, all the internal organs relax. Any of this, everything is tense, so we do this. Instead of looking up arrogant at the world, is to put our chin back. You start looking like a monk, right? And that's why they're trained to do that, because by doing that, the very simple fact is that the channels or the mind stream where the mind flows through, which are all the empty spots in the body, open up, and the spiritual winds begin to go through. I invite you to close your eyes. I invite you to be happy and to smile, physically and the gesture within to smile. Assume love and happiness. Assume joy and an openness, a playfulness. I am the light of the world, manifested as a human being. I am a unique individual with a history, with a story, with genetics. I am related to all living things. I am equal to and serve all living things. All living beings are my relatives. Because I am related, I am never lonely, alienated, distraught, distracted. All that I attend to, all that I give my attention to, I am. I have gifts, I have talents, I have uniqueness that were given exclusively to me to caretake, to develop, to offer, and to serve others. I am the light of the world. I am the light in the world. My mind becomes clearer each day, and I am able to witness, to see my own actions and reactions. I learn, I teach, and I am the light in the world. I apply my light to the world, and I am steadfast in my dedication to loving, to learning, to caring. I envelope and carry the light of the world. This is the trajectory of my life. Thank you all for your time, for your attention, and for your attentiveness. You're all special. Everybody has something to give, and everyone has something to take. Now it's time to end. It's time to begin our next phase here. Maybe one day we'll meet again, and in the meantime, keep it up, and we'll make a better world. The hard work this is the easy part. We're going to go in the world now. Take this onto Watt Avenue.
Thank you for coming to share your own kind of wisdom with us tonight. And you know, Leonard Cohen wrote a song, and he talks about being in this place together, and they clean the kitchen and everything, and then they go out to Boogie Street. And he calls that out there Boogie Street. And he says he's waited, the traffic jam is, they're saving a seat for him in the traffic jam. That's exactly what. Thank you so much, Stan.
Thank you.
So those of you who come to Sunday service, you know that I do guided meditations, which is something Stan probably doesn't know. So do not be surprised if somewhere along the way there is a guided meditation where you visualize all your neurons swirling and then finally slowing down, because it's going to show up somewhere.
Yeah, good.
Thank you for that. And there's another one that's gone right now, but it will come back. So as we come now to the time of our love offering, and we know that as he was saying, that receiving is giving and giving is receiving, and we know that this supports everything that we do here. So let us, what are we going to do? Oh, we're going to do our love offering blessing together. That kind of went out there for a bit. So let's say our offering blessing together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
Arahate samyak sambuddhaya Namoy sarvanta thaingatebhya arahadebhya samyak sambuddhebhya Namo arya avalokete shvaraya bodhisattvaya Mahai Satvaya Mahaparunikaya Adhyayam Dham Dara Dara Dhire Dhire Duru Duru Ite Vote Tzale Tzale Ratzale Ratzale Kusume kusuma vare 제때 졸라임 하바나 예수
Okay, let's stand and join hands. I don't know if we can can we make a circle, do you think? Some sort of a connected thing? Just make sure you're connected to someone. A connected thingy, that's a technical spiritual term.